What is up, YouTube boys and girls? Russ Navarra here, Radical Custom Garage. I got some items that I kind of want to show you guys. It's a variety of different things, and it's just basic things that'll make your job a little easier. I'm not sponsored by anybody. Most of the stuff I either got at Amazon, Harbor Freight, things like that, local businesses, but some of the stuff that I'm going to show you I got from Amazon that I feel will kind of make your life a little easier. I'm not saying it's inexpensive. There's a few items it's a little more pricey. If you can afford it, I think it'd make your job easier. I'm going to start with the less inexpensive stuff, and a lot of people don't think about it. The first item is, and I got them in a 3-pack, and a lot of people don't know what these are. I'll open it up here, and then I'll go into it a little bit. We all change our oil. We all have yard tractors or lawnmowers or what have you. And I have a particular one that's kind of hard to, when you're changing the oil goes everywhere because the frame gets in the way, and I know a few of you have probably vehicles that are the same way. This is like a universal funnel, and what you can do is you could shape it, if I can get it here. And I think these are like $9 on Amazon, but you can shape it, you can turn it, you can do just about anything. And I've seen these, and actually I took one of these to work because we have a particular motor and gearbox that's a huge motor and gearbox, but you can't get to the oil drain on it. And what I like about it also is you can make it into a funnel, so you can use it universally. You could just, and it beats the heck out of using cardboard like we all normally do. And like I said, I bought it in a 3-pack. I think it was 9 or I'm really not sure on what I give on Amazon for these, but you get like 3 different colors, and I think there's like 3 different thicknesses. But I'll use them all the same. I just thought it would be something. I don't know if any of you guys had heard of a universal funnel or a funnel that collapses or whatever you want to call it, but whoever thought of this, it's a great idea, because like I said, we've all used cardboard, we've all used something around the shop, looking piece of metal, whatever, to drain something we can't get to. So I thought I'd mention these. Like I said, you can get it on Amazon, 3-pack. The next one is something I happen to, I watch a lot of different videos in that, and I noticed a guy named Puddin, and a lot of you guys, I'm sure, have watched his channel, but I noticed that he had a paint shaker deal, and you could put it in a Sawzall, which is, and I think this was like $15 or $19, but you could put your paint can, and I don't know, as older I get, the more lazy I get, I guess. But this particular item I happened to see, and I researched it to try to find one, and I guess I didn't have it in there very well. It will shoot across the shop. But anyway, that fits in there, and you clip it down, get its deal, and that paint can's empty anyway. It will shake your paint can. I don't know those of you who do a lot of that or whatever. That was just a simple item I seen. I think it was $15 or $17, and I got that off of Amazon. It's inexpensive. You don't have to sit there and shake your can and, worry about it getting mixed up. And it's just one of them things that I feel that, if you've got a shop or whatever, it'd come in handy and you won't waste a lot of time. The next item, I got this also off of Amazon. And those of you who know me, and I'll show you here in a minute, I have some drawers that I've been redoing in the purple matting for your toolbox. I've been researching and looking, and I've been buying smaller ones for my box, but I got to looking on Amazon to see if I couldn't find a bigger roll, and I happened to find this roll, and they have it in variety different colors. They have it in blue, red, black, purple. I think they have orange. I'm not sure. And this is the deal. I don't know if you can read it. It's backwards. This one is, I don't know if it's got the size on it or not, but this is the biggest one they had. 24 by 24 is what this is. And for those of you that are doing a toolbox or something like that, I'm into color. I think it looks sharp, and I'll take you off the tripod here and show you what it looks like with a drawer in the green. But to me, that looks so much better than the black. It just looks organized. I'm just happy with the way this whole drawer turned out, and I'm going to rearrange some of it and that. But you couldn't ask for a better looking drawer. And here's my wrench drawer. And this one I had doubled, and that's why I was looking for the bigger roll, because if you'll notice, that roll fits the full length of my drawer, and I wouldn't have a seam. And I don't know, I guess it's my OCD. That seam just bugs the heck out of me. So I may take these out and use this for this drawer, and then use these for my smaller drawers. But as y'all know, I've got add-ons. I've got another green box over here. So I'm going to try to do it all in the purple. And I think the purple and green, it just sets it off. And yeah, I just think it looks, halfway decent. But that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys. I don't feel it's that expensive. I think this was $46 for this roll. It might be pricey for some people. I don't know. But turn you around. But overall, I think that's, the way to go. Put you back on the tripod here. Not doing so hot today. Overall, I think, to do your drawers and that, if you want to purchase that item, I think that's the way to go. Let me straighten you up here. I don't have a whole lot of time in that. I know I've got a lot of time vested in just doing them two drawers, and what I paid for 2 rolls of the smaller, I could have bought that whole roll and done the whole toolbox. So just kind of watch what you do when you're doing that stuff, and don't get in a hurry like I did. I seen the purple matting, and I didn't really research it that much, and I think that's through another vendor, through Amazon, and it was a lot better deal and a lot cheaper, because if I'd have went the other route, I'd have probably had $100, $200 just in doing all the drawers. Thank goodness I found that. The color difference is the same, so just kind of keep an eye out and watch what you do. The next item I have is a little bit more pricey. I think every shop needs to have one, even if you buy cheaper, inexpensive one. I've got two of them. One of them I believe I'm going to use for my sorry about that, folks. I got interrupted. As I was saying, one of them I'm going to take to work probably. I think everybody should have one of these labelers. This one was like $100 off of Amazon. I really don't think you need to spend $100 on one unless you're doing a lot of, I do wiring and things and stuff, label stuff at work. I'm going to be labeling all the wiring harness on my rat rod so I know where everything is. And I think if you spend the money on a good one, and just make sure you take the batteries out or get one that's rechargeable. I had one that I believe I got at Walmart, or it may have been on Amazon also, but I've had it for several years and I forgot to take the batteries out and it corroded in there. So basically it was junk. I'd ordered a new one and it was the same brand and that, because I had a lot of the cartridges. The cartridges for the cheaper one, let me grab it here, are really not that expensive. This one, they're maybe $8, $9. You can get them Walmart. I know a lot of the Office Depot, Office Max, a lot of them have them. You could buy the inserts for them a lot cheaper than you can these. These are a little bit more pricey. I think they're like 30 to 30 or so dollars versus this one here. You're going to pay for what you get. These stick on a little better, stay on a little better. These I have pulled wire and it slip off. Thank goodness we knew where the wires went and what have you. I like these, but these are sometimes permanent. I'd done my toolbox a while back and I had to use a plastic razor blade to get them off, because as they get older, they stick very well and you don't get them off. These will most generally peel right off. I've got some others. I used one of the guys at work and we peeled these off a toolbox that he sold one of the other guys, and it come right off and cleaned up really good. On this one, you're going to have to put a little elbow grease. So, like I said, you get what you pay for. This is a little bit more pricey, and so are the cartridges. Just remember that, that's just part of it. This one I can recharge. This one I have to have. Yeah, four of the AA batteries, or AAA batteries. And like I said, I had one like this before, and I left the batteries in, and they corroded in there and ruined it. So just remember that, that's part of it. This one's rechargeable, or you can put batteries in it. I spent a little more and got the power pack and stuff for it, and overall it was like $100 for this, and then $75 for the power pack or rechargeable pack for this. but I believe it was money well spent. If you used to buy this all together, I think it's $199. So did I save a little money? Yeah, I saved a little bit of money on it, just kind of watching. This is a good brand, and they're both really good brands. It's just I think this one will work for all around wiring and things. And I don't know why I'm all running through this so quick, but it's just one of them things. I don't have a whole lot of time off, and I just kind of wanted to go through it. Next item, I think, would be good item to have, and a lot of us have a habit of using 2x4 or wood block for your jacks. And those of you that have Daytona jacks, and I've got it out of the package here, I'll show it to you. This is supposedly a 400-pound capacity maximum lift. Yeah, 400 pounds. It adjusts from 28 to 37 wide, or yeah, 37 wide. It's an item when I'm working on my rat rod, there's a lot of times that I've put 2x4s under there and stacked blocks up, and I happen to see this at Harbor Freight, and what I liked about it is it's adjustable. You can adjust it in and out. You can use it, both sides does that. It's got safety chains to limit you how far. It's hooks onto your jack. I believe this screws into the bottom of your jack. I don't know if it's just for Daytona jacks only. Let me set this down. I don't know if it's for Daytona jacks only. I just have to look and research it. I just had purchased it. It was an item that I needed for my shop. I've got a couple of the older Daytona jacks, and I'm going to put that on it and leave it on there. I think it just mounts with that screw up from the bottom. It's an Allen screw, and I think you just mount it to the jack itself. I'll probably just leave it on there so I don't have to pull it on and off. But there's been times lifting a car, you can put that in the front of a car and lift the whole car up instead of putting the jack in the center. This will get you a little bit wider on your frame of your car, on the front of your car, and the rear end part of your car. And hopefully I think, yeah, the pads on it screw up. You can adjust them up and down. And I think that's going to help a lot for doing projects around here, especially with the rat rod and different things when I'm working on it. It won't be so hectic having to, try to find a 2x4 or cut a 2x4 the length you need and that. And I know there's a lot of you out there probably do the same thing I do. That's just part of it. It was just something I wanted to share with you, and that's, I think, all I have on that. The last item or last thing I want to talk to you guys out there that are just starting out in that. Watch your home centers and things. And I just got lucky this week. I went into Home Depot, I went into Lowe's, and they had a lot of their, I don't know why, if they were switching to a different brand or switching to a different deal, but I had found some of these metric and standard, and they're not was not really a bad deal on them, I don't think. And I think I'm going to leave them in these little cartridges or carrying cases until, I can't use them no more. But these Allens, it's a 7-piece set, your metric and standard, and we could all use that. And these would be perfect for keeping in your car, putting in if they're like me and go to the salvage yards and things. I've got a little DeWalt pouch that I throw all my tools in. I can take these out of my toolbox, throw them in my pouch, and basically you're good to go. It's got different sizes. It don't really tell me what sizes they're all there, but like I said, it's a 7-piece set. I think these were regularly, I want to say between 17 and 18, and I believe they had them marked down to $14. They were in a discount area with a lot of tools, and then we were coming out of that area, and I was walking out. I stopped for a minute, my wife and I did, and I bought a bag full of different, I got metric and I got standard. Guys, these were 99 cents. These were regularly $2.99, but they had them marked down. The impact sockets, I bought a bunch of, I got 3/4, I got 13, I got 10 millimeter, whatever they had. I bought all the oddball ones. I bought a bunch of the 10 millimeter because we all know that 10 millimeter come up missing. But I don't think that you could go even to a pawn shop and get sockets as cheap as what I did for these. And you may can, but a couple times I've went to the pawn shop, I think I've paid anywhere from 50 cents to $1 for a socket in their socket bins. So I think I can make, because I bought a bag full, I think I can make a whole set of at least the metric, probably all the way up to 13. I know they had 10, they had 9, they had a variety of different ones. And I truly believe if you're looking for, to save money, or if you're like me with my job, we lose tools or they get misplaced or somebody runs off with them, you're not so apt to get upset if a 10 millimeter or one of them come up missing because you only give $1 or whatever, 99 cents for them. That's just part of it. That's really all I have, kind of unprepared, trying to still straighten my shop up, get it cleaned up. It just looks like a bomb exploded in here. But I really wanted to share the Daytona jack deal with you guys. That was one of the major items that I felt that y'all could really use because I know how I am on some of that stuff. And there's a few things that I kind of wanted to share, like the shaker. I'd seen that, like I said, on another YouTube channel, and I seen where I could, that'd come in handy because there's been times my paint cans clog up, what have you, and that I think it's going to make things a lot easier, shaking the cans up and that. And like I said, I'm getting lazier in my old age, so, and I'm not sponsored by anybody. Amazon hasn't asked me to do this. Harbor Freight hasn't asked me. I pay for all these things myself. I purchase them myself through Amazon, Harbor Freight, what have you. It would be nice, but you know, I pick and choose the stuff. I can be a little bit more picky. They probably wouldn't like, you know, my reviews of different items. You know, if it don't work, I'm going to tell you it don't work. I'm going to be honest. I would tell them the same thing. I'm not going to put an item out there. And I have got a couple items that I promoted and I kind of got burned on. But, you know, I didn't get back on here and complain about it or whatever. I just took the loss and went on. Enough about that stuff. I'm kind of rambling. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Excuse me. Just go out there, be kind to one another, and hope y'all have a blessed rest of the week. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video. And hit that like button. Thank you very much.